We have Letti Bozard.
I know. We've got stuff to talk about.
And it's Bozard, not Buzzard.
I think I was just at the end of that ad campaign. I think I just, either in my first year I was hearing it or I had just missed it.
Were you under the table at Scarlett's when that ad campaign came out?
I'm sure. Yeah, I was under the table at Scarlett's for years, guys. That's what's wrong with me. I'm blaming it all on my dad.
That's where all the work happened.
Yeah, that's where all the work happened. There, I think over the history, 75 years of the dealership, there's been 2 or 3 different kind of renditions of the Buzzard campaign. It's
funny.
Probably 15 or 20 years since the last one, but no Buzzard right now. I think I told that story one time here. I was like, guys, we just can't make the leap.
Yeah,
we just can't get to a dead carcass eating bird like
yet.
Not in 2025.
To be our guy that really hasn't got your back.
He was a cute.
The marketing folks haven't gotten there yet.
He was a cute buzzard.
He was really cute, but he still is what he is. So.
Yeah, still a buzzard.
I bet you still have some of the.
My brother has a framed golf towel with the buzzard on it, and in his office, and there we actually have a current rendition of the buzzard who's really cute.
Yeah.
And we have a girl one. She has a little bow in her head. And we use it internally for some fun stuff with our team.
Yeah. Gotcha.
We don't really let them, fly out there and represent us at this point.
It's a different world.
Different world.
Yeah.
So Letti, we're going into Christmas time, and we were talking right before the show. Ford has launched a new campaign about interest free. Is that what I heard?
0%. 0% is back.
0%. Wow.
Yeah, 0% is back on a lot of models. It had been scheduled with multiple manufacturers. We're looking at that. It's been a couple of years. Interest rates have been high, and they haven't really had the ability to offer that. So it's a great program for, General Motors, Ford, a lot of the other manufacturers are doing it as well. And for us, it was scheduled late in December, almost kind of like late in November, like a December campaign. And we came into it. Sometimes we hear about things just when the public hears about them. It's great fun. Just keeps us on our toes. Yeah. Oh, wow. Surprise today. This is what it looks like, Recalls are the same way. Someone will call and be like, I need to make an appointment for my recall. And we're like, hold tight. Oh, yeah, you do have a recall. We just found out about that, too. Anyway, they pulled it back to the early November, so it started last week. And, we've lots of models, and we're busy. Things are busy. Like I was telling you, there's people kind of fall into 3 categories. What's important to them when they're buying a car? It's either their payment, their interest rate, or the actual total that they're paying for the vehicle. And there's no way to know until they tell us, hey, this is what's important to me. Yeah. And interest rate's a big chunk of people. It matters to them. They pay attention to how much they're totally paying for that car. Yep. If you add in the interest that you pay over however long you think you're going to keep it or whatever. And so we like it when 0% comes around. It gets us a chance to help people get into the vehicles and get the payments that they want and stuff like that. So
in my mind, it would be a tiebreaker for me. Like, okay, I don't need a car, but I kind of need a car, but I don't need a car. Oh,
0 inch?
0 inch?
Right. Nice. It definitely helps you bump over the edge if you're not in the need. You're like, strangely, I all of a sudden need a car. I wanted one yesterday, but today I need one. Yeah. Isn't it crazy how we justify things for ourselves? Keep going, Troy. Keep justifying it. Come buy a new car.
It's halfway free if it's 0 interest.
And Blake will tell you, I was down at Best Buy and they did an interest-free thing, and I was like, oh, okay, give me one of those too.
Yeah, and I'll take it.
I totally fall for it. So, but it's just the way your mind, when you're purchasing, it takes away that guilt. It's interest free.
Yeah. So, I'm actually paying what's on the ticket.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Actually.
they need to get their butts down to Bozard Ford right now.
100%.
So, all right. You're wearing a Flagler.
I am. I'm representing today.
Yes.
I'm representing today.
And you're still on the board of trustees, aren't you?
I joined the board of trustees late last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So fun.
So I went to the event at Flagler with the new grand opening of everything. Oh my gosh, that was just a huge event. It was amazing. It
was awesome. The renovation of Ponce is stunning. So I wear all the Flagler hats. So I'm an alum. My brother, obviously an alum. Grace, my oldest daughter, has graduated from there. I currently have a freshman living in Ponce.
Oh,
so
wow.
I've seen all the nooks and crannies of Ponce. And then I'm also on the board of trustees. So yeah, I have I got it all covered, on the Flagler College thing. I just love that college and what it represents for me personally and our community and all that kind of stuff. So the Ponce renovation is gorgeous.
It is.
Like, it's really gorgeous. And it's such a balance between preserving, some of those pieces that of the design inside of it and the old.
Well,
they did this beautiful.
Steel beam, it is absolutely amazing.
Gorgeous, right?
You
They
saw
say-
I
our
haven't
video.
been in to see
Did
that.
you see the video Blake and I did in there?
Yeah.
They did a steel beam. It's the same manufacturer did like the Statue of Liberty and like all
Yeah.
the big buildings in New York. And
It's gorgeous.
It was left exposed.
Yeah.
Good job, AD.
Yeah. Good job, AD.
And they were able to salvage so many pieces, just like little details, like the application of certain wood that was on the walls and stuff like that. So there's so much of the historical pieces of that design now paired, because it used to be when I went to college I lived in Ponce, and it felt like Henry Flagler was indeed my next door neighbor. Like, we were living in Henry Flagler's space.
Yeah.
So they paired that now with a lot of modern, comforts for the students, which is important because while being from here, being a Flagler alum, I probably have more appreciation or like more the fact that it represents what it has always been. But Flagler is trying to attract students, right?
Yeah.
We want to attract students to see what Flagler's all about from an education standpoint. And those dorms, to some degree, were not an attractor at some point, right? Because they're looking at other colleges.
It was very hot when I was there.
Absolutely, me too. Yeah. I was in the no AC days as well. But they're all those students are looking, whether they're from here or they're from somewhere else, they're looking at colleges that might have brand new dorms, right?
Yeah.
And kind of all of the comforts that they want to have in their dorm room. And so the Ponce renovation partners both of those things like really, really well. The rooms still have these cool old fireplaces. They can't light them, but the mantles and the fireplace things are in there. But then the bathrooms are awesome and the rooms are beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So you get both of that.
That's cool.
And it's really great. We're super
I think
proud of it.
John Valdez did most of the fireplaces.
Yeah, they restored a lot of the fireplaces. They're gorgeous.
He worked with Mike on that. But one of the things I love about Flagler College is, I came here because of Flagler College. I would not be in St. Augustine if it wasn't because of Flagler College. But how much stronger it makes our community for the people that stay from, it adds to our culture in a lot of different ways. Blake grew up here. He went to Flagler. You grew up here and you went to Flagler. But I'm talking about the people that come from, Massachusetts and come from Iowa and come from South Dakota. And then they end up staying in our community. It makes our community stronger. And
Absolutely.
I've seen it here and in DeLand where Stetson's at. Stetson's DeLand's a little podunk town, but Stetson gives it culture.
Yeah.
And I like that combination.
Yeah, absolutely. We have one Tuesday a month, we have like our entire management team, all the way down to say assistant manager, supervisor level, folks in the dealership. Once a month, we all get together. There's about 30 people in the room. And so that meeting happened to be yesterday, and I had a guest at the meeting because a month or so ago, I was a guest speaker at a Business 101 class at Flagler College. So freshmen and sophomores who've declared their major, in business. And I met a young student there that day who had sold cars like when he was in high school, right? And so I had invited him out to the dealership. We coordinated, and yesterday ended up being the day. So he joined that meeting. And as I was introducing him, I asked everybody in the room to raise their hand. Now, this is my team that works at Bozard Ford. I asked everybody in the room to raise their hand that graduated from Flagler College, and there was 5 people out of 30 on my management team that graduated from Flagler College. 3 of them, having come here for Flagler College, ended up staying, to make your point, and now are working on a team with me.
Part of your leadership.
Part of my dealership, part of the industry that we're in. So couldn't agree more that the college attracts awesome people, and then they stay and they have a great experience at Flagler College, and then they make a life here and contribute back to our community. So
I just wish they would look up in the intersections while they're on their phone. that's my only complaint about private college.
I hate to tell you that you're probably not going to get your wish on that one.
A four-way stop, and they don't even look up. It's like they're like Mr. Magoo walking like, I was like, okay, I don't know what's in that phone that has them tranced that way, but you just walked in traffic.
Yeah,
So,
that happens for sure.
So with the dealership, you guys have this beautiful complex out there. What is something? There's always something exciting happening at Bozard. What's something exciting that it's coming our way, or that has really taken off? I mean, you guys have just a beautiful complex out there. So. I hate to be a disappointment on this one. I think I said it at the beginning of this year that Bo and I had a pact that we were not building anything this year. But you always have new programs.
While we have had years and years and years of those, like, Grace, we're so excited. Guess what we're doing? This year we were like, we are not building anything.
You have to relax.
So we haven't built anything. We did purchase the rest of the property out. So for those of you who are familiar, they tore down the old outlet mall, except the Saks building. And then they've built an apartment complex. The folks that bought that 10 or 12, 14 acres where the mall building and back parking lot were the apartment complex, I think it's open or close to open at this point. And so we did buy the rest of the land that kind of wraps around the apartment complex, except for Texas Roadhouse. Number one, because it's adjacent to us. Number two, we needed the parking. But yeah, we have some opportunity. So I don't have a super fun, exciting thing to share right this second.
Yet.
But we're looking and we're thinking and we're dreaming about kind of what else might go there. I think part of me wants to wait. The idea of having that apartment complex there, we've been on that road by and large with the Cadillac dealership and its multiple ownership over the years, and then Camping World kind of by ourselves for a long time. 2007, right?
Yeah,
we've just been hanging out on that road for a long time.
Why are they doing that? It's too far out.
And so now the thought of having hundreds of people, neighbors living on our road. Baptist built the urgent care emergency room out there. Texas Roadhouse is there. So things in the last year look a little different in our neighborhood. And I think we're waiting to kind of see what that feels like out there with the, the number of people and what might be a business opportunity, for some of that land. So
that's awesome.
You share ownership with your brother. And it's been, the business has been handed down. How did Ford help you guys prepare for this ownership? Because, I mean, a lot of times in partnerships, and Mike's had a very successful story too. He's a third generation working on a fourth generation with A.D. Davis. But how did Ford prepare you two for your ownership journey?
Ford has a program, which I'm sure most manufacturers have. It's not necessarily just for like familial transition, like parent to child or whatever. It's really for anyone who's taking ownership in a Ford franchise. So like if you decided to buy a Ford dealership somewhere, you would have to go to this course, So classroom style, there is, a short program. So, Bo and I went to it together, so I don't really know how much we learned because Bo and I should never go to class together.
Sounds like a bad recipe right there.
Terrible idea.
Because you guys do get
We're
along
like
so
taking
well.
selfies and like putting our fingers like this on someone's head in the picture, like stupid, totally stupid. So, but no, they have some programs, to get you ready for that. There's a process, obviously, in preparedness. But I think for us, it was a little bit of just like on the job training. We had great between our dad and Mike Shad, who that's a piece of our story when he had ownership in our dealership for a period of time, and he was a unbelievable mentor to Bo and I. And probably the one thing he taught us about our business is that we won't really know always what to do, and so to make sure you have a good team. If I had to pick one thing he mentored us toward, it was to surround ourselves, with a good team. Our CFO, Monty, he's 30 years with Ford Credit. And then when he retired from Ford Credit, we hired him as our CFO. So we're like, cool. Now you know all the things about Ford Credit. we no longer have to know any of those details. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that.
And then Jeff King, of course, who you know and a lot of people know around town, just has an energy for this business. And we could have a whole show for me talking about our team, but I think that's best what has prepared us, to be able to operate at a high level, and also for Bo and I to get to be able to enjoy it. We were talking before the show a little bit about our dynamic and how grateful I am for it. We just have a good time. I mean, it's not always easy. We work and we have to figure some things out and stuff like that. But by and large, we're genuinely enjoying it because of the team that's around us.
That's awesome. The mission of just being a part of the community with Bozard, I think, is the thing that attracts me. Like, we get it at the end of the year, we give out Business of the Year. You guys can win every single year because it seems like any nonprofit that that really is doing the right thing. You look right underneath it. It's got Bozard on it. It either says Letti Bozard or Bo Bozard or Bozard Ford or somebody from your team. Because it's not just you. It's you see people on your team on those lists too. How do you create that environment? Because it goes throughout the entire company, what I've witnessed. How do you create that? It's not just you, it's the entire team effort.
Yeah. So we prioritize the participation, whether it's an event sponsorship or a financial donation or an in-kind donation or everything to a hole-in-one car at a golf tournament. I mean, just across the board, there's so many different awesome things going on in our community. And we prioritize those resources to the things our employees are participating in. So if an employee brings me a request, that goes straight to the top of the list for us to participate in it. And that's ultimately why. It probably could be done by Bo and I, and Bo and I are employees there too. And there are some things that we participate in that are specifically because of my participation. But it's not like it's not just like my desire or like, hey, I want to feel good about it. It's my actual participation or Bo's actual participation, right? So we could probably have tried that in reverse, meaning us get really passionate and try to convince other people to be passionate about the things that we're passionate about. But that's really hard work. Like to try to convince you to love what I love is almost futile sometimes, right? So we just went the other way. We just said, hey, you guys bring us what's happening in your neighborhood, at your church, at your kid's school, at an organization that your family is giving to or partnering with or you're volunteering at. Go bring us those and let us take our resources and put them there. And that over the years has created what you're talking about, where you see our employees like taking the lead. I've got employees that sit on boards, not just Bo and I, right? And Jeff. We've got employees that run their own fundraiser for something, like they're the actual person heading up and implementing the fundraiser and things like that. So I think just us supporting them and letting it start with them versus it start with us. And then we try to get them to, participate because we know it's good. We go the other direction. We start with them and then we participate. And it's been a cool ride. It's awesome to see what they're passionate about,
As I was mentioning, just to kind of wrap that up, the last time I saw you was at a fundraising event. And
that's when most people see me these days.
There together. And I see your name all over town more often than not at a sponsorship form. And so as a member of the community, I just want to thank you and your family for taking that time to not only give the money, but you do show up, you do serve, you are there to help, generally to help.
Well, thank you.
She beat us as the auctioneers this year.
You did?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I bring my A game at the St. Augustine Youth Services Trade Winds auction. But listen, and thank you for your kind words. They mean a lot to me. I have to just tell you, I show up at these because of Scarlett's and being under the table. You guys, listen, most people at their fundraisers these days, it's like a happy hour. You get to see all your friends. You get to have some drinks. Exactly. And so and that's just right in my wheelhouse. Everyone's like, thank you so much for coming to all these. I'm like, I'm having fun. I'm here for the happy hour.
Glad to help. Happy hours also.
He said open bar. By the way, Saturday's an open bar. And there are still 20 tickets available.
Okay.
Ellen called me last night and said, we still have tickets. I was like, you told me we were sold out.
All right.
So we still have tickets. So contact me if you guys want to go to the
Or
gala.
light up night.
Is it gala or gala?
Depends on
I say
where you're from,
gala.
I think.
Yeah, I think it's one of those tomato. I say gala.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if you say gala, you got to put your pinky in.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
say
whiskey
gala.
drinker, so I think it's a gala to me.
It's a gala. Sounds like a storm on the water. Gala.
Yeah. Gale force wind.
For sure.
But Letti, you guys have been just a part of the community for so long. What is one of the trends in the automotive? I think last time we were here, we were worried about tariffs, and the time before that, we were worried about the chips coming from China. And is there a trend right now, or has things settled down? Or is it now okay? Everyone's concerned about interest rates. So what is one of the trends right now in your business?
I think that it's affordability.
Okay.
A lot of the auto manufacturers, that's the number one thing on their plate. So therefore it becomes the number one thing on our plate, right? Ford especially. We, many years back at this point, Ford made a really strategic decision, which was the right decision at the time, to kind of get out of the sedan car market. They did away with the Taurus and the Fusion and the Focus and those cars, and went more toward the SUV, which at the time was the right strategic decision for them. That's what customers were buying, right?
Yeah.
Most people were buying, even for their first car, they wanted that little crossover with a little cargo space in the back and, things like that. But that has created over time an affordability, issue. You can't come to a Ford dealership right now and buy a new $25,000 car. We don't have one, right? I don't even know if we have a $30,000 new car right now. So the manufacturers are working on that, but that they can't change overnight. They have to build factories and get talk about layered processes, right? For if Ford decides today, man, we really have to we have to build a small car. We'll see it in a couple of years, right? They can make the decision to pivot today, but it takes them years to be able to actually react to something like that, while we have to react to it right now. So because there's people in our community that we want to be able to service for the vehicles that they need. So one of the things I talked a little bit about when I was here earlier in the year was our focus on more affordable used cars. That typically has not been our wheelhouse. We've got people buying these expensive trucks and they keep them for a couple of years and they trade them in, and it's an expensive used truck when it's a trade-in, right? And that was kind of the core of our business. But we've really been focusing on keeping more of the trade-ins that are in that $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 range, figuring out what they need to make sure they're safe when we sell them, right? Because that's always the concern when you keep some of those lower priced cars, is you don't want to take our brand and our reputation and put someone out in a vehicle that isn't going to be good for them. But we also have to partner that with the fact that they need a $10,000 car, and there's going to be things wrong with that $10,000 car, right? $10,000 cars are not perfect. But close. And what's crazy is the $10,000 car of today is actually the $1,000 car that we used to think about, right?
That's pretty scary.
It's really scary. So we're just kind of throughout the year this year, we've been really working on what to keep it, how to recondition it, how to sell it, and disclose properly what is maybe going to need attention. Like if I sell you a $15,000 car right now, I want to tell you, hey, listen, we know there's some things here. It's safe, but you probably should be thinking about in the next 12 to 18 months, putting these in your budget, right? So that's been a big initiative for us this year, and we're not there yet. We're keeping more of them, but and we're working with those customers and stuff like that. But we're really not quite marketing that yet, because we want to get it right before we kind of go out there and say, hey, we've got this great selection of lower priced vehicles. So affordability, I think, is what everyone, regardless of what manufacturer you happen to, be attached to. If you're a Chevy person, they're working on affordability too. Every manufacturer, even, and then of course the foreign automakers are better at that than us. But now they have tariffs. So that's even the playing field a little bit. So it's just, the whole affordability thing is interesting. And I think in a couple years, you're going to see a lot of really cool new product that's going to come out in that 20,000, 30,000 range. But until then, we sell used cars at Bozard Ford. I'm looking right at the camera. We sell used cars at Bozard Ford for $20,000.
Okay. And we're kind of running out of time. So this is my last question. And so cars, electric cars, 2 years ago seemed like everybody's going to it. Now it seems like that's softened a little bit. Has that softened, or is it just my imagination that it's kind of looking that way?
It has softened from the standpoint of the vehicles that were all the rage and all the talk, positive or negative, when you're talking about a couple of years ago. It has softened because the technology, it has to keep coming to get the range, right? And that's gonna require different vehicles. So really, especially American manufacturers, all they did a couple of years ago was take a current vehicle, in our case, the F-150, and then the Mach-E, which was kind of like a Mustang-based crossover thing. But they took regular vehicles and made them electric vehicles. So that was cool. People that liked that idea bought them. People that didn't like that idea went to Facebook and talked about it, which is what happens in the world these days.
As is want to do.
Yeah. So it seemed like a lot of talk, right? But so that has kind of softened. Those vehicles are out there. People are still buying them. We sell a lot of electric vehicles, and there's a buyer for that. But what hasn't softened is the research and development that's going on behind the scenes with all manufacturers to create the correct vehicle for an electric vehicle. Has to be lighter to get the range, has to have some different features to it, to get the range. And I think the goal, what I always hear, every manufacturer's racing to 1,000 miles. They want you to be able to get 1,000 miles on one charge. Because if you could get 1,000 miles on one charge, you could actually make that your normal car, right? Outside of the conversation of whether you agree with electric and batteries and all that's beside the point. But the actual usage of a vehicle for a normal American, if you could get 1,000 mile range, a lot more people could consider an EV. And so that research and development has not slowed down. The talk in the industry has not slowed down. But yeah, the buying of them from like the newness of it piece has slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, because you can't really take one across country because you don't know where the charging station's at.
Right.
You have to really map
Whole
out,
different ballgame.
Map out, and then the charging stations, even the fast ones, take
some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, Letti, thank you. Anything else you want to get out there?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Thanks for having me. Thanks for representing us well in the studio. We love it that this is the Bozard Ford studio and you guys talk about local stuff every single day. That's what's important to us too. Yeah. This community is what's important to us too. So thanks for having me.
We couldn't stay on the air if it wasn't for groups like yourself and you are always on the screen with us.
I just like to always be here with you guys.
Yeah, you are always
I like to
with
always be here. My spirit is here.
You're like the angel over our shoulder.
Yeah, right over our shoulder.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, Bo can be the devil over our
We
shoulder.
started out the show in happy hour stories, so I'm not sure I would call me the angel on your
not
shoulder.
innately bad.
But
Never lead to anything bad.
But thank you, and you're always welcome, of course. If
Thank you so much.
Anything
Thank
you
you so
need to
much.
get out, we're here for you.
Sounds good.
Thank you.